Hi, this is Rex Mendoza of Ramper Financials. I think all of you know I'm a member of Brother Bo's Mastermind Group, and we do this Facebook live sessions. You know, the last time we did it, I was with Brother Bo, and quite fortunately or unfortunately, he's in Australia right now. So, Brother Bo, I hope you're watching out there. So I'll be doing this alone. Yeah, we're live, but the conversation's not going to be there. So think about it as a monologue. But you see, I really wanted to do this because I'm going to be coming from a different angle today. A lot of people think the people who get successful are the guys who always go into business, get into big investments and all that stuff. Pero paano naman tayo, yung mga kagaya ko? You know, I really wanted to share my story with you because it's very, very important. I'm not that guy who got into entrepreneurship very early. Hindi ako nag-invest ng ganung kaaga na, you know, may pinanggalingan akong kapital. Walang ganon. You know, I was an employee. I was in school. I was told by my parents, or both government employees, that I should do well in school so that when I get out, I'll get a stable job. And from there, track my career in the corporate world or even in government. I had that solid belief that I'm going to be doing it as well because I had limitations. Karamihan sa inyo, parang siguro kagaya ko. Number one, yun nga, ang tanging asset ko noon is my education. And a good education is that because I graduated from the University of the Philippines and I think I did well in my academic and extracurricular life. Pero pangalawa, ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, I didn't have capital. I didn't start with anything. You know, as I've said, wala akong ipon, wala akong itataya sa isang entrepreneurial venture, wala din naman akong exposure. You know, I probably would want to share with you a very big portion of my life, but basically the exposure I had to business is you know, not just fairly limited, but maybe masasabi nating hindi ganun kaganda. Kasi ang negosyo ng parents ko, jeep at saka tindahan. So parang ang feeling ko noon, sobrang tinding trabaho for barya. You know, ganun ang nangyayari. So sabi ko, if I do well, I'll be out there, I'll be an executive, earn much money, and become filthy rich. Alam natin, hindi madaling mangyari yon, and then that's the reason why, you know, I got myself into my challenges para dun sa mga hindi nakakaalam. You know, my first job was at Film Life. I was in the group insurance division. I was, you know, starting at the very first grade. You know, talagang ika nga startup level. I can say that I learned a lot from that time till I did very well in my career. But most of the time, ang talagang naaalala kong nagpapaganda ng you know, kaalaman ko, experience ko, are the tough challenges, no? The twists and turns of a career, the failures, yung siguro yun ang mga tinatawag nating life-changing moments, no? Where careers are actually made. And I can remember a few, and I'd like to be able to share this with you, no? Ang pinaka-unang challenge ko sa lahat, yung pagpunta ko sa leadership role, no? I tried to rise in my career. I was able to get somehow education at AIM after being an account executive for about a year. Kasi alam nyo, nangyari doon, pagkapasok ko sa trabaho, this kind of ages me. I don't like to do this, but I have to give you that detail. Nagtrabaho ko 1983 That was June. You know, in 2 months na baril na si Ninoy. So wala nang nangyayari. So I felt, you know, wala pa akong 1 year. Sige, mag-aaral muna ako. So I was able to get this education at AIM, and you know, it prepared me, no? Tamang-tama nung natapos yung pag-aaral ko ng 2 years, EDSA revolution, you know, anything you touch is gold. But you see, I got back to Film Life, and I was now from being a you know, first level account executive for the division, I now became head of group marketing, no? And I handled people. So that was the biggest challenge. And now I might say where my initial failures happened. Kasi ang nangyari sa akin noon, syempre galing kang AIM, akala mo magaling ka, akala mo alam mo ng lahat. No? But what I didn't realize was that I was handling people with greater experience than me. In fact, many of them were in film life before I was born. Parang ito ka, parang rising star, akala mo alam mo lahat, tapos lahat ng mga tao mo, mas marami talagang alam sa'yo dun sa totoong negosyo ng kumpanya. I put my face flat on the floor many times because I've been trying to make changes that somehow didn't work. And it was so frustrating. Until I realized one day, ano ba talaga nangyayari? Bet ako nagkakaganito. And I realized, the very people I was working with are working against me rather than with me. So alam nyo nangyari, I brought everyone to Batangas. Nagkaroon kami ng bull session. Pero yung panahon na yon, hindi ganun ka-formal yung mga team building at planning na ganyan eh. Ang mga nangyayari noon talagang dadating kayo sa isang resort, maglalagay kayo ng 2 case ng beer at mag-uusap kayo. Yun ang nangyari. So, nagkahingahan kami ng sama ng loob and one thing I realized, I wasn't a good listener. That's very important for you guys who want to rise up in a corporate career. Listen more. I know you're young. I know many of you know a lot. I know you want to make changes, make a difference. Pero before you can do it, you have to do it within a small sphere of people before you get down to a bigger stage. So what I realized, hindi ko pinakikinggan itong mga to. Yes, I know the new tricks. And the old dogs can be taught new tricks. But the old dogs know the ins and outs of business. And they can actually mold whatever they have, whatever they know, with what you have and what you know, so that it becomes a formidable combination. Alam nyo nangyari after that? Nagtutulungan kami, lahat ng ideas, nagkakatugma, and before you know it, we were ramping up. Alam nyo, ang culmination ng failure na yan, kaya lagi ko sinasabi, ang failure is postponed success. Failure is postponed success as long as courage coaches ambition. See, after that big failure, those small challenges, alam nyo ba, in about a year and a half, our division, group marketing, was number 1. Not just in the Philippines. We were number 1 globally for AIG, which took me to the Seoul Olympics to watch this spectacle with my parents for free because I am the number 1 operation, not just in Southeast Asia, not just in Asia, but globally. So talagang yung challenge, kailangan tingnan natin yan, yung problema, as an opportunity to make a difference, as an opportunity to change our ways. The other big challenge that I faced was when, I got out of film life, doing very well in an industry that I've been part of for decades. And then I moved to a new company. I moved to a new industry. And that was my move to Ayala Land in 2005. Again, siguro, double challenge because on one side, I know I have something to contribute. I know I have a lot of things that I can do with what my experience was in the past and with what my strategies that work were, plus the resources and the asset base that this formidable conglomerate has. But you see, siyempre, in any new organization, papasok ka, mataas ang pwesto mo, there are challenges, no? Meron tinatawag na konting, siguro lack of trust, no? Parang, sino ba yan? Si Rex, insurance ang pinanggalingan yan, hindi naman yan galing sa real estate. So parang, ang feeling ko nun, imbes na maniwala sila sa sinasabi ko, na-challenge sila and somehow they try in a way to prove me wrong or to teach me in the ins and outs of that business. Again, when I encountered that challenge, I was trying to make a difference on top. I was trying to push strategies that never permeated through the organization. Hindi bumababa. Maganda yung idea ko nandun lang. Nagmukha akong consultant. Boss, pero consultant. Because on the field, hindi masyadong nai-implement yung ideas na gusto ko. Pero alam nyo, sa Ayala Land kasi, let's face it, magagaling na silang lahat eh. I mean, they are doing very well and they are at the top of their game. I mean, for whoever I was, I have to be able to contribute to get the trust. I have to be able to make sure that, I implant some of my ideas that help other people. So when I understood that, I knew that there has to be a solution. So tamang-tama naman, kaibigan ko dyan si Mr. Bobby D, who's the president of Ayala Land today. Kaibigan ko din si Dan Abando, who's now the president of MDC, the biggest construction company in the whole country. Nung time na yon, medyo nagta-transition kami in, let's say, making the residential business group really become better, no? In terms of linking up to their markets. So ano nangyari? We unloaded and launched a brand architecture. So, dun sa brand architecture na yon, hinati-hati namin ang mga organization para klarong-klaro, okay, Avida ka, may Avida market ka. At ang kalaban mo dyan, yung kalaban ng Avida. Hindi mo kalaban ang ibang division ng Ayala Land. Alveo ka, at that time Community Innovations, may market ka for Community Innovations. Iba ang kalaban mo. Nandyan si Mega World. Nandyan ang mga katapat mo. Hindi kalaban si Ayala Land Premier at hindi kalaban si Avida. So, in terms of a working, strategy, it makes a lot of sense. Madaling isipin na, yan ang tama. Parang customer-focused ka. Pero teka lang, naisip ba natin, kahit paano, internally in an organization, may konting pasikatan dyan, may konting internal competition, hindi mo maaalis yan. So instead of looking at a competitor outside, sometimes, in a corporation, we look at each other and we compete with each other. Kasi ang nangyayari, sinasayang natin yung resources and energy because the conflict happens from within, not with competitors outside. And the engagement with customers become really, really confusing. So anong naging solusyon? Talagang sasabihin ko, malaking utang na loob ko ito kay Mr. Bobby D nung sinabi niya sa akin na, Rex, I have a problem actually. Yung problema niya naging opportunity ko. Ang sabi niya, syempre, aakyat siya sa residential business group, pupunta siya ng Ayala Land Premier, siya ang presidente ng Alveo noon. Sabi niya, ang gusto niyang gawing presidente ng Alveo si Dan Abando. But Dan came from construction. Somehow, medyo hindi angkop na angkop agad sa market-facing or marketing-oriented na approach in an organization kasi galing siyang construction. Pero alam mo, naisip ko yung nasa utak ni Bobby noon, ang galing eh. From construction, lalagyan niya ng experience si Dan sa negosyo para in the future, when he heads up the biggest construction company in the Philippines, he has an idea of how it is to become a CEO of a frontliner company. Kasi alam niyo, ang problema minsan, yung nag-head ng construction, never naging part ng sales at marketing. Never naging part ng forward-looking or customer-facing people. So in the end, lagi silang nasa likod, hindi nila naiintindihan yung tension between sales and clients. Si Dan, naging presidente siya. So ngayon, naiintindihan niya yun. But the problem of Bobby was this. Kailangan i-backstop niya si Dan ng isang tao na maaaring strong dun sa sales and marketing. Alam niyo, problema ni Bobby naging opportunity ko. Why? Kasi, from my spot as Senior Vice President, bumaba ako to be Head of Sales of Alveo, reporting to Dan. Alam niyo, si Dan Abando noon, AVP. SVP ako. But for Alveo, I am Head of Sales and Marketing. He was President. So, sa labas ng Alveo, he's actually lower than me, pero sa loob ng Alveo, I actually report to him. Pero alam nyo, that's what I want to tell you about the ins and outs of corporate existence. Don't think about hierarchies. Don't think about titles. Don't even think about, entitlements. It's all about contribution. If it makes you contribute better, take the role, take the responsibility, magpakitang gilas ka. Some people thought at the start, demotion. Ayan, tingnan mo si Rex, tingnan mo. From SVP, dito na lang siya. Mindset ko iba. SVP, mukha akong consultant. Ngayon, nandito ko, I can now show people how it's done. I can now play the game. And alam nyo, kakatuwa din naman because it came as a blessing that, my deputy is Robert Lau. Robert Lau actually heads that entire team today. Looking back, ang ganda din ang naging track namin ni Robert Lau. Kasi magaling din talaga siya. So ang nangyari, yung ideas ko na implement ngayon, and it's on the trenches. It's not way up above where you get, to lose many of the things, many of the details in transition. We were able to unleash it, and looking back, parang somehow people sometimes give me credit for it, but I can tell you it was a team effort. Pero tingnan nyo yung pangyayaring yun. We started at the Alveo team, siguro 30, 6 na manager, 7, 8 at best, 30 property specialists. Alam nyo ba kung ilan na ngayon? Ang Alveo ngayon, more than 1,000 sellers na. And we're probably doing more than, 30, 40 times more of the sales. And I can tell you this with a lot of pride. Yung benta ni Alveo today, mas malaki pa sa benta ng buong Ayala Land when I was there. That is history. That is how things unfold. So, nung nagkaroon ako ng chance ipakita, syempre nakita ng Avida, nakita ng ALP, nakita ng buong organization. Meron din naman palang sinabi itong si Rex. Meron din naman pala siya pwedeng i-contribute. So, ano nangyari? They now embraced me, they now accepted me, and I became part of the team. Kung kinontra ko sila dahil sa position ko, sigurado ko things won't work. Kung kinontra ko sila dahil sinasabi kong mas mataas ako o senior vice president ako, mababa posisyon mo, makinig ka lang, there will be such a thing as sabotage. And because I was one with the group and I forgot the title, I forgot the rank, ano nangyari? Barkada lang ako. At pag barkada ako at nagka-problema, naririnig mo kagad dahil sinasabi sa'yo. Many of you guys who are holding middle management positions or even higher level management and executive positions, sometimes you don't even know what the problem is kasi hindi nakakarating sa'yo. When you're close to your people and you treat them as family, you treat them solidly as a team, problems go up, it gets to you unfiltered, and it gets to you with the real nuts and bolts of it so that you can address it squarely. So, yun yung mga challenges at mga bagay na naisip ko na pwedeng makatulong dyan sa marami sa inyo. But let me tell you this, and this is why, I have to share this with you. Sometimes many people think, the road to wealth, the road to prosperity has to be through business, has to be through investments. At pag lowly employee ka, wala ka ng chance. Mali. Marami po sa atin dito nag-uumpisa. Many of you are just like me. No capital, sometimes very little experience, no network. Paano ka magne-negosyo? Paano ka mag-i-invest? Kulang kaalaman mo, kulang ang network mo, kulang ang connection, wala ka pang pera. Saan ka mag-uumpisa? I started there. Humbly, I would tell you, I didn't have that. I started here. Pero huwag kayong mag-iisip na success is the exclusive domain of entrepreneurs and investors. Employees, executives can be very, very successful. Alam niyo po, ang mga mentors kong iba, they've been employees and executives their entire life. But they're good ones. And I'll tell you, may mga mentors po ako na ang kinikita sa isang buwan, mas malaki pa sa net income ng ibang negosyo. And they have the trappings of a corporate life. A company car, a company driver, yung iba may bodyguard pa. So hindi ko pwedeng sabihin hindi sila mayaman as an executive entrepreneur. So they make it. But you see, let me share with you what happened to me. I didn't stop there. I eventually became an entrepreneur and I also became an investor. Starting from this, and I want to share that with you. The fact that you can start being an employee, you can actually build up capital because may sweldo ka at maitatabi mo ang portions of that. Number 2, you can start building your network. As an employee, magiging exposed ka. Yan ang magagamit mo later kung gusto mong maging entrepreneur. Hindi ba? And then pangatlo, dahil meron kang puhunan, you can actually start investing so that in the future, you can have capital for this. I fired from all cylinders. Yan ang nangyari sa akin. Sasabihin pa ng iba, so Rex, paano yun? Paano ka naging entrepreneur? Empleyado ka. Alam nyo, pwede naman talagang gawin yun. Bakit? Hindi naman kailangan ikaw ang tao doon at tao dito eh. Minsan, pwedeng asawa mo nandyan. Minsan, may mga kaibigan ka na magagaling. Tataya ka sa negosyo nila. Dalawa lang pong bagay ang very important. One, disclosure. Magpapaalam ka. Siyempre, your company pays you a salary. When your company pays you a salary, you will have to live up to the expectations of that company and earn your keep. So kailangan, para may respeto, magpapaalam ka. Hindi ka magsasa-sideline na hindi nila alam. Maganda yung alam nila para wala kang tinatago. And pag wala kang tinatago, there is emancipation. But let me tell you, the second thing is more important. Yung second thing is performance. Pag maganda ang ginagawa mo sa trabaho mo, maganda ang performance mo, bakit sila magrereklamo kung may sideline ka? You're delivering more than what is expected anyway. In fact, some bosses will even think this, kaya pala si Rex ganyan kasi entrepreneurial siya talaga eh. At magagamit niya yung qualities na yon in forwarding the interest of the company. So it's very important that you realize this, that employment is a good pathway to success. It's a good pathway to abundance. But if you have the chance to veer away and do other things, why not? You know, God always opens a lot of doors for us. Sometimes we don't even notice those doors, and that's why we don't take advantage of those opportunities. But let me tell you, it's very important that you know that whatever you start with can be a good thing that you can push forward and have as a stage to unleash who you are as a person, unleash what you know, and make sure you be able to succeed for the benefit of your loved ones and friends. So it's very, very important to me na wag natin pilitin. Minsan, may talagang mga tao pang employment eh. Tapos pinipilit nilang maging entrepreneur, nagfe-fail. Di ba? Hindi naman po madali. Sabi nga ni Brother Edward, kung alam lang natin lahat yan, mayaman na tayo. Di ba? So, ang importante sa atin, galingan natin where we are. If we have other opportunities to do things, better. But, very important, alam mo kung saan ka nanggagaling, alam mo ang sitwasyon mo, you treat it as platforms of opportunity to lift yourself to a higher level. Pero alam niyo, di pa ako tapos, ang dami kong gustong i-share. It's just that, medyo ang daming comments, ang daming can I read questions now? I'd really like to be able to read these comments and questions from you. Para naman at least alam natin na, number one, nakikinig kayo. At number two, I can also get to what your concerns and what your interests are. Okay, so ito, number one question from Mark. Okay, this is great. I'm a call center agent earning 25,000 a month. Currently, wala po akong investment. Paano po ako makakapag-start mag-invest? Sakto lang po every month yung sahod ko. Now, doon pa lang sa tanong na yun ni Mark, alamin na natin dapat clear, meron dyan mga tinatawag na belief systems na kailangan nating baguhin. Number one, sakto lang po ang sahod ko. Okay? Lahat po ng sahod sakto eh. In fact, I can tell you this, lahat ng sahod kulang. Wala naman nagiging eksakto, tama-tama or sobra eh. Kasi, madali pong gumasta. Sabihin ko sa inyo, pag ang sahod nyo 15,000, pwedeng sakto, pwedeng kulang. Pag ang sahod nyo 1 million, pwede ring sakto, pwedeng kulang. Dahil nasa tao yan eh. Okay, sasabihin ko sa inyo, may sumusweldo ng 12 to 15,000 na nakakapag-invest. Pero may sumusweldo ng 1 million, isang buwan, na puro utang. Paano nangyari yun? Kasi Mark, nasa sayo yun eh. Alam mo, ang sweldo, hindi kasya. Pinagkakasya. Di ba? Hindi nyo napansin, ito yung, alam nyo, ang talagang details nito, i-share ko sa inyo much later on. Pero ang feeling ko, naiintindihan dapat natin na, nag-uumpisa yan sa akala mo, maliit eh. Tapos lumaki na, parang lalong lumiliit pa rin. Ito, napakagandang sabihin, napakagandang isipin po nito. Ha? Bakit yung sweldo mo, nung maliit-liit pa, parang kasya? Ngayon lumaki, saka hindi nagkasya. Why? It's because your lifestyle went ahead of your income. That is the reason why you cannot invest. Pero may taong napagkakasya yung 20, may taong napagkakasya yung 15, tapos ikaw 25, hindi mo mapagkakasya. Pwede yan. I'll tell you. And this is a mind-boggling thing for many of you out there. Sa Ramper Financials, may kliyente kami, 1,000 a month. Bus driver. May kliyente kami, 1,500 a month. Security guard. Ba't sila kaya? Kayo empleyado, call center. Why? Kasi lagi kayo nasa 7-Eleven. Lagi kayong nasa milk tea. Starbucks. Hindi ba? Yung 3-in-1, kape din eh. ₱5 lang yun, ₱7 lang yun. Ito 150 eh. Ito 180 eh. Di ba? Alam nyo, Mark sorry, pero ang dami kong ginawang seminars for call center agents. I'll tell you this ang reklamo sa akin ng mga HR nyo. Sir, libre kape dito, pero bumababa pa rin sila sa Starbucks. Bakit? Ba't nyo ginagawa yan? Alam mo ba, minsan nga, sometimes some of my friends hate it and make it sound funny that parang ginagawa kong kontrabida ang Starbucks at milk tea all the time. Pero totoo yun yun ang luxuries that we think we're entitled to. Pero yun ang dahilan kung bet wala kang i-invest. I'll tell you this. Kliyente namin, 1,000 to 1,005. And it's real. It is not imaginary. Kasi po nagawa na. Milyonaryo bus driver. Milyonaryo public school teacher. Why? Consistently investing on a monthly basis for several long years. So, pwede kang mag-invest. At maybe, sa umpisa, dahil 1,000, 2,000 lang yan, simpleng investment lang. Pag lumaki na, saka na natin gawing medyo complicated. Saka na natin gawing medyo risk-laden. But in the meantime, let's keep it simple. Alam mo, pinaka-importante, Mark, maumpisahan lang. Pag naumpisahan mo yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Bakit? Ano ba talaga ingredient dito? Disiplina. Disiplina talaga yan. Okay? So Mark, I hope I was able to help you with that question. Next question here is from Erica. When you were an employee, did you encounter a difficult boss? Wow. And how did you handle it? Alam nyo, napakagandang tanong, Erica. No? I'd really like to commend you on this because you are really, really very honest. No? Talaga namang ganun. There are horrible bosses and there are great boss/mentors. No? Depende na lang kung anong ibe-bless ka ni Lord, di ba? And sometimes it can be a roulette, it can be a game of chance. Pero dapat hindi ganon. Okay? Ang learning, ang maturity, ang experience, hindi yan dala ng mga tao sa paligid mo. Dala yan ng paniniwala mo ukol sa kanila. And let me explain that further. It is not your environment that will shape you as a great employee or executive. It is you and the way you interpret your environment. I've had horrible bosses, Meron ako naging boss, siyempre hindi ko na siya papangalanan, hindi ba? Dapat ang position ko, manager na ako Manager. Pero he doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. So anong nangyari? Pinag-deliver niya ako ng mga diary. Alam mo, pag Pasko, ang trabaho ko mag-deliver ng mga diary. Talagang, graduate ako ng UP, mabigat din naman ang naging pinag-aralan ko, pero, pinag-deliver ako ng diary. Di ba kung sa ibang tao yun, mainis ako, hindi ko yan gagawin. O itatapong ko yung mga diary. Pero ano nangyari? Naisip ko, magde-deliver ako ng diary. Sino ba itong mga dinideliveran ng diary na to? Finance managers, their accounting executives, their CEOs, their CFOs, their HR heads. Instead of giving the diary to the guard, to the secretary, or to the reception area, why don't I stop by and hand it over to them directly? Naisip ko yun. Tapos alam nyo, nangyari? Conversation start. Kasi may regalo akong dala di ba? So, we start conversations. And you know what happened? They became friends of mine. And then later on, alam niyo naman, dahil salesman na tayo, at that time, medyo nalalaman na natin that the road to pathway of success in my area then was sales. Dahil kaibigan ko na na-upsell ko yung mga kanilang group insurance benefits na improve ko. Kasi kaibigan ko na sila And when I became head of that department, can you just imagine all of my connections? So, ang galing pala ng boss ko. He was a great relationship builder. Di ba? Pinag-deliver ako, pero yun ang nangyari. So, blessing pa rin siya. Minsan po, God gives us challenges to make us grow. So, don't, look at your boss and say, he's the worst kind. Hindi. Pwede mo pa rin niyang isipin ganito. May matututunan ka dyan. May matututunan ka dyan. At the very least, ganito, pag naging boss ka, hindi mo gagawin yung ginagawa niya sa'yo. Di ba? Yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. Okay, so let's move on to the third question here. From Peter, okay ba pong mag-loan ng pera sa SSS para makapag-start ako na mag-invest? kailangan klaruhin muna natin ito. No? Ang rule of thumb, huwag tayo mangungutang to invest. Why? Sometimes ang investment, may risk yan. Ang utang, siguradong may interest. So, it can go against you. Pero, yung utang kasi sa SSS, meron niyang talagang pwedeng pagdalahan ng ganito. Remember, SSS has different kinds of loans. Actually, SSS has a loan for investments. And I can tell you this, quite frankly, ako, kinuha ko yan. Alam niyo ba, nag-loan ako para bumili ng Meralco shares nung IPO. Di ba? So, kumita ako dyan. So, I'm not gonna say to everyone na masama yan. Pero, kailangan isipin natin ganito. So, long-term dapat yung loan mo, maganda dapat yung interest, which is what SSS gives you. Pero, ang importante is where you're gonna put it. Pag nag-loan ka, nag-umpisa ka ng negosyo, too risky. Too risky. Kailangan kahit papano yung mamamanage mo, yung paglalagyan mo, at malalagyan mo ng tinatawag nating asset-liability matching. May liability ka dito, nagbabayad ka ng interest, ano yung pwedeng maging growth ng asset mo? And stick to the standard, stick to the manageable, and stick to things that will not really be too volatile. But you know, I have a lot to share. Parang medyo, medyo gipit na gipit ako dito sa ating session, but we will have a program. You know, it's a very, very unique event. You know, we're going to be having a wealth conference. And tandaan nyo po ito, there are links around this video. If you can click that link para malaman nyo kung paano makapag-attend, paano makasali sa investment conference na to. We have wealthcon.ph. Mangyayari po ito July 27 at SMX MOA. SMX Mall of Asia. Nandun po kasama ko si Brother Bo, Edward Lee, Dean Pax Lapid. It's going to be a very unique event. Kasi alam nyo naman, kami kahit papano may specialties kami. But it's very different kasi parang may ganito, may question and answer. Minsan kasi pag nag-attend tayo ng mga seminar, hindi naman tayo nakakapagtanong. So hindi nagiging personal yung ating learning, hindi nagiging masyadong relevant for many people. So we'd want to make sure that we are relevant. We want to make sure that we're going to be making a difference. And this is for everyone. You know, don't think that, you know, you don't have enough yet. Don't think that alam mo ng lahat. You know, these are all the whole spectrum, the whole range. No, it's a program for everyone because it will be an eye-opener for many, and in many, many ways, that eye-opener can be able to help you. So, click on this link and then make sure you attend that program. Alam nyo, excited ako dyan. I know Brother Bo and I, together with our mastermind friends, we're going to be making a difference to you. We're going to be making a difference in your lives. And moving forward, we are going to continue this bond, this friendship, and we hope that we can make a difference so that you will be on your pathway to abundance, on your way towards meaningful and genuine prosperity. Till then, thank you so much.